To push snooze. Okay, so on number 2, I want you to think about all the different factors, all the different reasons that you made that choice, right? Because there are lots. So really, really dig in and see if you can find more motivating factors for that decision, okay? First period today. Okay, let's hear some of those decisions. Alexis, what was the choice you made this morning? To take a shower. Why did you make the decision to take a shower? Okay, you woke up early enough. What are some other reasons, maybe? Good, so your mom can sleep in. Can anyone think of another reason that Alexis should take a shower? Yeah, Karina?
So she won't be stinky.
So she won't be stinky. Good, okay. Marion, what was the decision you made?
I chose to ride the school bus this morning.
Good. Why did you choose to ride the school bus?
Because I woke up early probably.
Okay, so you woke up earlier so she could ride it. What was another reason?
I didn't feel like spending money on the metro.
Good. You didn't feel like spending money on the metro. Do you ride the school bus often?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe it's also a part of her daily routine. Okay, so maybe that is one of her motivating factors. Okay, Ina, what was the choice you made this morning?
I ate breakfast.
Good choice. Why did you eat breakfast?
So I could have some energy and get
Okay.
all the stuff I need.
Okay. Any other choices? Any other reasons you made that choice?
I woke up early enough.
Okay, you woke up early enough. Good. Okay, we'll do one more. Obed, what was the choice you made this morning?
To wake up.
Good. I'm glad you woke up. Why did you make that choice?
Because it was cold.
It was cold. Hey guys, can I have your voices off, please, and listen to Obed? Okay, your alarm woke you up. Good. So he was influenced by his alarm. Good. Charles chose to push snooze this morning. Okay, a little bit different choice, but some same motivating factors. Okay. Okay. Can you write down just the bolded statement? Okay. Every decision, big or small, right, is motivated. Every decision, big or small, is motivated. You know me well. What are some of the reasons that I drank my coffee this morning? What motivated me to drink my coffee, Janelle?
So you wouldn't be cranky.
So I wouldn't be cranky. Okay, I wanted to avoid, you do not need to write this down. We're just brainstorming together. Avoid crankiness. Okay, because I do get cranky when I don't have coffee. What is another motivating factor for me in drinking my coffee? Yeah? I am addicted. It's a part of my personality, right? Sure.
That's bad.
Okay, great. What's another reason? Yeah, Thomas?
To wake up.
To wake up. Sure, I wanted to have energy today, right? I wanted to wake up. tastes good. I like it, right? I enjoy it. Okay? Yes, Chief. Good, it's a part of my routine. Absolutely. It is the second thing that I do every morning is pour myself a cup of coffee. I get up and I pour myself a cup of coffee. Even before I put on clothes, I pour myself a cup of coffee, right? It's part of my routine. Okay. I'm going to ask for you to write down everything that's in the light blue box. Okay? So in our last unit, we looked at characterization. In our last unit, we looked at characterization. Okay? So we looked at how a character is shaped or influenced by their community, their culture, and experiences. If you remember, we talked about our little monkey friend, right? Mm-hmm. So today, rather than looking at what influences a character, we're going to be looking at what motivates a character, okay? So we're going to be looking specifically at their choices, right? So our objective for today, by the end of the period, you need to be able to identify what factors motivated a character to make a decision. We're going to be specifically looking at characters in Romeo and Juliet, okay? But a question that I want you to ask yourselves, as great readers all the time while you're reading, is this question. What factors motivated the character's decision? And the majority of you probably are already asking that question while you're reading, okay? But today we're going to narrow it down a little bit. We're going to look closely at what motivated them, and then what evidence do we have of those motivating factors. Okay? So my little monkey guy asked the question this morning, why did I get out of bed? It doesn't look like he had very many motivating factors. Good? Okay. So I wrote down some of my reasons last night that I drank coffee, right? I wanted to be more awake. I get a headache. Right, I wanted to avoid a headache because, thank you, I'm addicted, right? I get a headache when I do not have coffee, so I wanted to have my coffee this morning. My mom drank coffee every morning growing up, so I thought growing up that that's what people did in the morning. So it just became quickly a part of my routine, right? Because that's what people do. It was a part of my morning routine. It's second thing I do every morning, and I love the taste. Okay, so you got a lot of those. On Thursday, we read Act 4, Scene 4, right? Where Juliet drinks the poison that Friar Lawrence has given her. But she makes this whole speech, right? She gives this whole speech about how scared she is and all the reasons she shouldn't drink the poison. And yet, she drinks it anyway. And I want to know why, okay? So let's brainstorm this list. In your groups, I want you to write down this question in your composition notebook. Okay? And in your small groups, I want you to try to come up with 5 motivating factors, 5 reasons that Juliet drank the poison, even though she was terrified. Right? What are those 5 reasons? I should hear talking.
The most obvious one.
You're just in your composition notebook. Please do not write on the paper that's on your desk yet. Okay, so that's one reason, right, for Romeo. What's another reason she wanted to?
So she didn't have to marry Paris.
Good, she didn't want to marry Paris. It's a great motivating factor.
I think another reason is she wanted to rebel against her parents.
Okay, so maybe she wanted to rebel against her parents. Okay, she was kind of out of options, right? Good. Okay, following her heart. Maybe that's something inside of her wanted her. What do you think, team? To be Romeo. She wanted to be Romeo.
I would. She didn't want to like get or something.
Okay. Okay.
obsessive.
Okay, that can be a part of her personality. That could be a motivating factor.
But she's obsessed with Romeo?
Sure. What do you think is another reason?
She really didn't have a choice.
Who gave her? Friar. Do you think she was at all influenced by Friar Lawrence? I mean, she questions whether she trusts him, right, in that speech, but overall, I think she still trusts him, right? So maybe she's influenced by Friar Lawrence. Sure. How are we doing?
That's the family you didn't marry.
You got 3.
You got 3. What were those 3?
She loves Romeo. She doesn't want him to marry Paris. She doesn't want to be disowned.
Okay, so she doesn't want to be disowned. So if she had not drank the poison, okay, and she had chosen not to marry Paris, she would have been disowned. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. Okay, good, absolutely.
Didn't her?
That's a really
Okay, let's brainstorm together. What do we think the 5 most important reasons that Juliet decides to drink the poison are? Yes, Julianne.
She didn't want to marry Paris.
Kate, she didn't want to marry Paris. Hey, you don't have that one down. You should write it down, please. What is another reason? Yeah, me too.
She wants to be with Romeo.
Kate, she loves Romeo. Okay? Yep. Okay, her parents will disown her if she doesn't drink the potion, and what's the other thing she needs to do for her parents to disown her? If she doesn't marry Paris. Okay? Yeah, Aaron.
Doesn't she want to stop like the feud between her families?
Okay, so maybe she does. Maybe she wants to stop the feud. Do you think that this would stop the feud, though? If she drinks the poison? I'm not sure it would actually stop the feud. I'm not sure that's a motivating factor. Yeah.
She was already married to Romeo, so marrying Paris would be a sin.
Okay, so maybe, sure, absolutely. So it would be a sin to marry Paris. You are coming up with some great motivating factors. Okay, and what's the last one that we can write about? Yeah.
She thought she
Anna.
had nothing loose. Cause you know how
Good. She was.
before she was like, she didn't want to die because she didn't want to die a virgin.
Yeah.
And then now.
Now she just wants to be with Romeo, right? She's kind of out of options, right? Okay, so let's put out of options. Good. So we have some great motivating factors, okay? I want to look at patterns now, okay, for what motivates us as people in general. Okay, so when we look at, for example, when we look at what motivated me to drink my coffee and what motivated Juliet, okay, to drink the poison, if we look at me wanting to be awake, right, and Juliet wanting to be with Romeo, I would say that one pattern we see is that we're looking for a positive outcome. You're going to need this list. I'm going to ask for you to write down just the list, it'll be short, of patterns that we see. Okay? What is another pattern that we see? What about me wanting to avoid a headache and Juliet wanting to avoid marrying Paris? Yeah. Okay, because you only live once. Sure. But what is the pattern? What is the pattern we see? Yeah, Emily.
Avoiding a negative outcome.
Good. Avoiding a negative outcome. Absolutely. Okay. What about my mom and Friar Lawrence? Yeah.
Love one. Or trusted one.
Okay, so trust someone. Sure, absolutely. We trust someone. We're influenced by someone.
Interested by that coffee.
Okay, and I'm going to put influenced.
Who's shaking my table?
Okay, because not only do we trust someone, but do that or showed us to do that, right? To make that choice. And we trust them. Do we see any other patterns? You had some pretty unique, some unique motivations for Juliet. What about the fact that it's a part of my routine, or it's a part of my personality, maybe? So I think that I'm going to argue. Can I have voices off, please? I'm going to argue that Juliet, in general, makes quick decisions. Okay, and this is another one of her quick decisions, right? Which was a motivating factor. Okay, it was a part of my personality because I love my coffee, right? So maybe a part of personality could absolutely be a pattern. Okay, any other patterns that we see? Yeah, Anna.
What they believe is right.
Okay, believe is right. Sure. Beliefs is a great motivating factor. Okay. So you are going to do a group activity in just a couple minutes. And this is what it's going to look like. Okay. On your table, you should have a sheet. It's called character motivation. Okay. And you have 3 columns. The first column, you are going to write down the 3 motivating factors for the character to make that decision. Okay. So when we look at Juliet's decision to drink the poison, I thought that probably the strongest factors that influenced her, that motivated her, were that she wanted to be with Romeo, that she did not want to marry Paris, okay, and that the Friar Lawrence told her to drink the potion, and she trusts him. Overall, right? She does question him, but I think she trusts him overall, okay? Then you're going to come up with, you're going to draw an image that represents that motivating factor. So I do a heart, right, for teenage love, okay? Maybe a not marrying sign, okay? And then this is an image that I thought showed trust, okay, because she trusts Friar Lawrence. Then, most important, right, we've been working on this. You need to go into the text, dig into the text. You need to find text support, okay, text evidence that proves that that is something that motivated the character to make that decision. So when we look at Juliet wanting to be with Romeo, okay, at the end of Act 4, Scene 3, when she is about to drink the poison, right before, she says, Romeo, I come, to this I drink to thee, right? I thought that showed, the fact that she was actually drinking to Romeo showed that she was motivated by her love for Romeo, okay? When she is talking to the friar about what are her options, right? She's freaking out, she's talking to the friar, and she says, oh, bid me leap rather than marry Paris from off the battlements of yonder tower, right? She's willing to kill herself rather than marry Paris. I thought that showed that she definitely did not want to marry Paris, and that motivated her, okay? And then the Friar Lawrence told her to drink the potion, and she trusts him. So when he tells her, I chose 2 pieces of text evidence for this. When he tells her to drink the potion, right, he says, take thou this vial, being then in bed, and this distilled liquor, drink thou up. She says, her response is, give me, oh tell me not to fear, right? And I thought that showed how much she trusted him, right? She was willing to take it without question, okay, and look to him for trust, right, to not fear, okay? So in your groups, you're going to take this document, okay, the character motivation sheet, and you are going to be working on different character choices. So you have 8 groups. On the side of your basket, you have a number. That corresponds with the character choice, right? So number 3, this group is looking at why Friar Lawrence decides to marry Romeo and Juliet, okay? I have given you the act and the scene. So the first place you're going to start is you're going to start by writing the character, the decision they made, and then the act or scene. And then you are going to get started filling out this chart, okay? As you get started today, we are going to be looking, I'm going to be walking around, and you're going to receive a grade, not just for the character motivation, right, but also for discussion. What am I looking for in an effective discussion? What are some of the signs of an effective discussion? What am I going to be looking for? Aaron. Okay, Okay, sentence starters. What are some of those sentence starters? What was that? I think. Lena, what's another one? I agree. Yes, Ina.
This makes me wonder.
This makes me wonder. Yeah.
I disagree.
I disagree. You got any others? Yeah. What do you think about? Okay, another one that you're going to look at today is the text evidence that shows this is, right? I want to see you taking each other's ideas and really digging into the text, okay? The other thing I'm going to be looking for is I want to see you responding to each other's ideas. So I don't want to hear Marita say this brilliant thing, someone write it down, and then move on to the next motivation. I want to hear you have a discussion about what do you think the 3 most important motivating factors are. Okay? We are going to have the camera moving around. So if the camera is around your table, I want you just to ignore it and talk like you would in discussion. Okay? Like we practiced. Okay? Get started, please. Yes.
Oh, wasn't one of the motivating factors?
Okay, where do we have evidence of that?
But I can see.
Okay, so where does he tell, here's a specific line where he tells Romeo why he's going to do it.
Oh, no. Wait.
He was exiled.
Yeah, he's exiled. Oh, I guess he's... Forced to leave.
Good, right here. Absolutely. Read that to your group.
Where does the lion be so happy to turn your household into a love? So he's saying that.
Okay, what do you think the motivating factor then is? Okay, so he's trying to get over Rosalind. Okay, so do we have text evidence of that then? Okay, so you're gonna have in this scene that I've given you that he's gonna discuss that, right? But he also talks about it earlier, right? In the very beginning when he sees that Romeo is sad.
But it's in the beginning.
Okay.
Wait, it's scene 5, right?
What? So here.
You said like, I think,
And then like text evidence. So we are looking at what is the decision? Okay, so why do you think he does that?
Because he wants Romeo to get over Rosalind.
Okay, so he wants Romeo to get over Rosalind. Do we have evidence of that? Okay, good. He does say that. Where does he say that? Let's get out another book.
Wait, I think it's right here.
Did you find it?
Take down some new section to the ring placing of the
Perfect. Great text evidence. Let's get that written down. Act. Okay, good. What are some other reasons then that we think that Benvolio might be motivated to encourage Romeo to go to law?
ones who was like,
You think Benvolio wants Rosaline? Do we have text evidence of that?
No.
No, we have no text evidence of that. What about the fact that he's sad, that Romeo's so sad in the very beginning?
Oh yeah, then his Romeo's mom.
Right, so he wants to make him happy. So maybe maybe that's the reason, right? That Romeo was so sad. Okay, good.
I came up with all that, just saying.
Good.
Never.
Okay. Yeah, at the end of the party, Tybalt talks about how offended he is.
Right here, Tybalt says, Uncle, this is the Montague, our villain that has hitherto come this night to swear enmity this night.
So what is he saying there then?
Like, Monty, the hate came to the party, like, tried to ruin it, and, like, things like
Okay, do we agree with that? Okay. Good. So she's on 963. Good job, Alexis.
Act 5. I mean, Act 2.
Probably good.
Oh my gosh.